So let's get started. So welcome everybody. So we're starting the meeting. It's about 6:32. As you logged on, the meeting is being recorded. I still haven't figured out how to get them on the website, but as soon as I do, they will be up there. And so let's start off with Margaret and the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Does anybody have any changes to the minutes?
I made my edits right in the document for you, Margaret.
Oh, thank you.
Edits as well.
It looked okay to me.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so let's see. I guess I'll motion to approve the minutes. Does anybody want to second that?
Seconded.
Who
Isn't that
seconded them?
Everybody agree? Anybody oppose?
Who seconded the motion?
Sarah Slocum.
Thank you.
I thought we had a standard assigned seconder. Who's the seconder?
I think it's been me quite often.
Oh, thank you.
So I think it's an anonymous that they're approved. So let it be. Robert, you're up.
So couple points before the numbers. So in reconciling our bank accounts, I noticed in the last few weeks we have several checks outstanding still related to the teacher expense reimbursement. So I followed up with those teachers this week to say, hey, did you never deposit that check? So I think there's going to be a few checks that we'll have to reissue because they were, lost along the way somehow. But maybe a couple will get cleared. So my suggestion is if they're lost, we just issue new ones and not lose a lot of sleep over it. Much more interesting than that, we got an exciting letter in the mail from the IRS that declared that we were delinquent in filing our return, which was due about 4 months ago. It was as if they had not received our extension filing. So we, of course, immediately followed up with our tax accountants who said, don't worry about it. This is obviously a mistake on the part of the IRS. We have a copy of the request we sent them to file for the extension. So we'll just have to resend it to them and this issue will go away. So I thought that was exactly the resolution I was hoping for. But it's always exciting to get a letter from the IRS saying that you owe them a big fine. I think Jennifer was excited. So in the financial reports, you've all seen them. So since the last meeting, we have had a little bit of karate money come in. But the big winner is obviously the Get Fit in May sponsorship deposits are coming in. So I'll let the Get Fit in May sponsorship people talk about it, but it seems like, that's really all that's happened in the last month is a lot of sponsorship money coming in. Nothing going through PayPal yet, but I hear there's talk about that. So we can talk about that when we get to it. And we haven't spent any money since the last meeting. So our cash balance remains more than adequate. Finance portion of the meeting concluded, unless there are questions.
We also had Breathe New Hampshire come in, right? $520.
No. Come in where?
I think I sent you an email about it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, if it came in yesterday, then the report I did the books yesterday morning.
Okay, all right. So that'll
Right.
be in the next. That'll be in the next report.
Yes, there was quite a few stuff I saw coming across the emails yesterday and today. So I thought most of it was Get Fit in May and some karates. So, but the next meeting will have more of the Get Fit in May, more karate, and apparently some Breathe New Hampshire. So that's great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so how did everybody feel about this time? Because I'm wondering for next month when we should have it. I do believe we can't do it the 4th Tuesday in April because it conflicts with Lincoln Street event that's going on. Is that correct?
Yes, it's our spring concert.
It's your spring concert. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's also, I believe, elections, which I do need to read up on how that is supposed to happen. And we do have several positions open for elections. We still have our web administrator. If any teachers have a web administrator in their classrooms, and I desperately need a volunteer for this because we need to update both websites. I think the Exeter Elementary needs one by an update by May 1st. So just an FYI. Anyway, if this time works, I was gonna propose that maybe we have the next meeting on April 20th at 6:30 p.m. or 6 o'clock p.m. for elections.
I just want to correct you. The May one is our spring concert. The next one is during spring break, April vacation. That's why we can't. We shouldn't have
Oh,
it, I
okay.
think. So May is Lincoln Street concert.
Okay,
April is
gotcha.
during spring break.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Or we could try, say, like Monday, April 18th. Anybody have any?
I gave you a thumbs up.
I know, I saw that. I know, I think a lot of people can't make Wednesdays. I almost want to say maybe we should have it Monday on the 18th. Or we could do Tuesday, April 19th.
We have a Get Fit in May meeting happening on that day. Is that happening on that day? On
Yeah,
our
but
calendar.
it's usually at 5:30.
Oh, okay.
Because I just got off the Get Fit in May meeting, and it didn't make any difference to me.
Probably best to stick to Tuesdays, just for to avoid confusion.
Yep. Okay. So why don't we do 6:30 on April 19th? Does that work for everybody? Yep. Okay. Thank you. 6:30 p.m. All right.
Jennifer, just to be clear, we have the PTO Get Fit in May meeting happening at 6:30 on that Tuesday. You're telling me that's 5:30.
Wait, what? I don't think we have a 6:30. I have it as 5:30.
Okay, I can change it on our calendar. I just wanted to make sure because our calendar goes out to everybody and I want to make sure it's right. We have it at 6:30 at Lincoln Street School, actually. Room 121.
Which is that Keith's room?
Drew? I don't know. I don't know the room number.
I don't know.
Well.
I don't know the room numbers either.
I don't know the room numbers.
Okay.
So.
I don't want to conflict with that. Why do I have it in my calendar as 5:30? Anyway, let me find out about that. Let's tentatively make it for 6:30 on the 19th. And if it conflicts with the Get Fit in May meeting, then we'll either do it on Wednesday or Monday. Does that work? Yep. Okay. And I'll make sure that I confirm that this week so I can get it on the calendar. All right. So April's elections, right? April's elections. So we have the web administrator that I mentioned before. We have a co-fundraising chair positioning opening as Nicole is going to be retiring. Very sad. I'm going to miss you. Secretary and co-president. And then we also have, it's not an elected position, but we have the Kim Myers will be stepping down as this is our last year as the race director. And we'd really like to find somebody sooner versus later so they can work with her for the Get Fit in May race this year so they know what to do for next year. So if anybody has any suggestions on somebody who'd be interested in running the Get Fit in May fundraiser, please send them my way.
I
I may be interested in that. Let me
Who's that?
Sarah Slocum.
Oh,
Let
hi,
me ponder
Sarah.
it. Let me ponder it for a day or two and I'll send you an email.
Ponder it. Yeah. I mean, because you could work right alongside Kim so you can see everything that's happening. Thank you. Oh, and I forgot in my opening, for everybody who's attending, if you could please put your email address in the chat if you want to receive the meeting minutes. If not, just so we have your attendance, just put your name. Or say here, because I think your name shows up. Okay, with that said, I will hand it off to Nicole and Laura to go over our fundraising activities. And just so you know, Nicole, I left Square One Art. I didn't know if you had anything that you needed to talk about.
Yeah,
So
no, we do. Perfect.
okay, awesome.
So I'm just going to touch on the things that I'm, I guess, in charge of, and then I will, Laura can take over because she's really done the Karate International stuff. So I'll let her do that. So really quickly, Breathe New Hampshire, you guys just heard. So we sold 52 books. We do get $10 from each book. So that was $520. Not a huge lift. It was pretty easy. Once Margaret connected me with the woman named Susan, and she really kind of took it from there. She sent me the graphic that I sent off to Rachel. So if, whoever is going to take over and help Laura, that's a pretty easy lift. And I would say to do it again. And I think this time of year is pretty good when we did it, because then people get it for a full year. So it's not like they're buying it and then only have it for, 6 or 9 months or whatever. They really have it for the full year. Then Square One Art, we are booked for next year. Same timeline. The art teachers are going to do it. I did connect with them. I think that probably one of the things that they talked about was getting some volunteers in. And I said, now that we are hopefully turning this little bit of a corner, very mild curve of this pandemic, that maybe they could get some help. And I know, especially for Marnie, it's hard. I mean, Susie can attest, when you've got kindergartners coming in that, you're trying to get them to color in a square and like, come on, So I think that would be something, if Nora is intending to stay on as volunteer coordinator, that we could maybe, somebody could connect. And I'm going to think it'll probably be Laura. I made her the coordinator for next year. So she has access to the coordinator's corner. And yeah, so I think just getting, sending out a sign up genius to maybe ask for some volunteers, since we are going to try to keep that beginning of the year timeline. And it was a lot of work for the art teachers. So if there could be some extra hands, I know that will be helpful. So the boxes will show up to the schools around August 10th, 12th, something like that. And then it's pretty easy. And Laura knows she can reach out to me. It's pretty self-explanatory, because I did it this year without any previous knowledge, and it was pretty easy. So the next thing for me is staff raffle. So I have a whole bunch of notes here. So a Google form went out to the staff. I am going to say, so all staff that are on this meeting, I'm going to leave it open a little bit longer. I went through and calculated how many things we have today. We do have 39 responses, but that's not really indicative of what we have, because some teachers will say that it's for 2 children, like 2 winners. So we have 20, literally exactly the same from each school. We have 23 options. And in previous years, we've had like 35. So I'm wondering, and I did notice a lot of the same people, but a pretty significant drop. And when I went back and looked at, obviously it wasn't last year, it was the year before. So whatever year that was, a lot of lunch. And so I'm wondering if that is a hang up because teachers need to utilize their lunchtime a little bit more, or if I know that the kids are staggered a little bit more. So I'm thinking maybe that could be part of it. So I am going to leave that form open for the rest of the week. And so staff reps that are here, if you would just share that, we would love to get a few more people just to bulk it up a little bit. I think it will help with sales. And I think, obviously the point is the more we have, the higher the chances of the kids winning, especially where so many kids haven't experienced this yet, that I would like it to be similar. I know it can't be the same, but similar to years past.
Nicole, can you send that out again? Can you
To who?
resend it out? Just,
To you,
no, to everybody. I think that you
I
sent it
send
out
it to the
before
principals and then
vacation.
they send it out.
Oh, okay. So we can resend it.
You can I
Yeah.
can resend the link to you if you need it, for sure.
Yeah. I think it would be
I
a nice
have-
reminder.
I just pulled it up and it came from Drew. So Drew would
Okay,
have to.
I'll
resend.
CC, I'll send it to assistant and regular principals, and if you guys could send that out, whoever, yeah, so we'll go from there. Oh, yeah, so, yes, Susie, I see that. So a couple things, we're gonna keep the price point the same, so it's gonna be $3 per ticket or 4 for 10, and the sheet will come with, I believe, 8 tickets on it. So principals are gonna love me right now. We need this in paper. It has to be in paper. Has to be, because otherwise, if someone doesn't have a printer, they have no way of printing tickets, and then they're gonna send in a sticky note, and I'm gonna have to print tickets and deal with all of that. So I will probably forward it over to Lauren, Christina, Angela, whoever's in the office, and ask them to on that timeline. And timeline is, so the Google form, I am going to close it this Friday just so that I can start working on making the spreadsheet on mine and Laura's end. So the sales will go from April 4th to the 20th, which I believe is a Wednesday. And then on the 22nd, I will pull names and we'll post it like on social media. Or I might even do it the night before so that I can get it to you guys so that you can announce the winners. I believe that's how it's been done in the past.
That's the Friday before April break?
Yes. And then that way it gives teachers kind of that week to think about like what they're going to do, because what happens from there is the winner, like the winner sheet comes out and the principals will send it out so that, let's say Susie knows that Charlotte won, she's going to connect with Charlotte, which obviously isn't really the case. I'm just using my kid. She's not in the same school, but that she knows that she has to connect with Charlotte, because once the winners are drawn, the teacher connects with that student to then make that happen. And then that gives us about 6 weeks before the end of school. And I felt like that was a pretty good timeline for teachers to be able to connect. Teachers, do you agree? All right, cool. So yeah, I think that's it for me for that. So I will resend that to all you important people. And then, yeah, so I guess we're good. Laura, Laura, I lost you. I don't know where you are anymore, but does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. And then I'll let everybody else who's in charge of the other things take it on.
Do you want me to touch upon the Karate International, Nicole?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Karate International, we've had a pretty good turnout so far, and we did notice a marked increase in new students for after the flyer was sent home. So thank you, Main Street School. For a little bit of background for everyone, Main Street School students were able to register, and they still are until the end of March, with Karate International in Exeter. It's $49 per student, and you get 4 weeks of sessions, and it's about 2 sessions per week on average. They encourage 2 sessions. And when you first sign up, you can either call, it's all on the flyer that we sent to the principals. And they're really welcoming and helpful. And all $49 goes to the PTO. So 100% of the proceeds. Craig and the other individuals at Karate International were really just hoping to get awareness out for their business and also for, health of the students. And we tried to amplify it around the same time that Craig and Karate International were at the respective schools. So since Craig was at Main Street School in February, we tried to time it on Minga and the flyer going home for Main Street School in March. And then starting in April, Lincoln Street School students will be able to sign up for the month of April with the same $49 for 4 weeks of sessions. I know Jennifer and I have both taken advantage with our kids, and my daughter loves it. They went for one evaluation and she went back on a Saturday. and it's been going really well. There's just a lot of options. So we sent the flyer, I know, to Drew as well. I don't know if it's possible. I know it's another paper request, but it is really helpful, I think, for them to get it in the folder and for parents to get the additional information there as well. So far we've raised about $539 to date. All proceeds, like I said, and that's only 11 students. So if we get even more from Lincoln Street, it'll just be more proceeds for the PTO. Does anyone have any questions on that? It's pretty straightforward
So,
fundraiser.
Laura, ours went out on Minga, so you want it to be on paper. Is that?
If you don't mind, that would be, we noticed it had gone out, I believe, in a newsletter at Main Street School. But then once Tanya was able to send it out in folders, I think 9 more students, or quite a bit, signed up. I'm not sure if it was around 9, but a marked increase signed up after that paper was sent home. So sorry for the paper request. I know that's no one's favorite. Jennifer, I know your family's doing it. Did you have anything you wanted to add on to that?
No, I think you did a great job. And, my 2 daughters are in it and they're really enjoying it as well. And I think one of them is actually going to continue with it. So.
Yeah, Mr. Dever, who's over at Main Street School, it's great because he's a great bridge between the two. So he's, I believe, a student intern at Main Street School. And then he's also an instructor at Karate International. So all the kids that are going in are recognizing him and feel very welcome, is my impression when they start. So that's it for me.
Thanks. Spirit Wear, Lori. Lori, so I'm sorry I don't have your name next to that.
That's all right. That's me. So for an update for Spirit Wear, a little bit of a change this year. So last year we did the online ordering. They had this like little platform they were using for not many people. So they let us use it for free. They're not using that platform anymore because they had a lot of issues with it with other people. She said, if everyone used it like you guys did, it would be great. So they do have they have a paid online platform now, or it's just paper form order and then send them the orders. The paid online platform, it would be more challenging to make money. So we've decided to do the paper form, which again, here we go, more things going home, right? And we're just trying to figure out, I just had a couple questions in terms of the order form. And I know we've been discussing over email using the PayPal for people that wanted to send in a PayPal payment instead. People like me that don't have a check and have to borrow one from the grandmother when the kids ask for one for school, because I forget. So that it's a little bit easier for people to, if they want to pay online and get it done with that way. So I didn't know if for other events or orders or anywhere in the system, if anyone had if we had a set order form for other things that I could just adapt. So I don't know if Jennifer, if there's something from years ago.
I don't think so, but I do have an order form from Action Kids that they do their sweatshirts and stuff. That looks pretty good. That we could mimic.
I just didn't want to recreate it if we were like, oh, we ordered shirts 4 years ago and we had one. And then whatever we need to use, Robert, for the PayPal. Is it?
So we used PayPal last year. It was pretty effective, I thought. We provided one of those scanning codes so people could scan if they wanted to, and then it just sends you right to us, or they can just send a payment to our email address. But I think the trick is when they make their payment, if we can guide them to write something a little more specific in the description line.
Right. Yeah. And that's something we can put that on the order form, if they're paying by PayPal, to put their student's name, teacher, grade. So that we can match up the
So you'll have their name, you'll have their email address, you'll have their phone number from PayPal, and then there's a notes or description or whatever. And so last year when we did this, I mean, if you're on the team at Exeter, Exeter PTO or whatever it is, every time there was a payment came in to PayPal, that went out to the team. So, I can summarize all the transactions by doing a download if you need it, if you want to
Right.
sit down and do it all on a Saturday or whatever. Or you
Right.
get the heads up every time one comes in, you can see it coming in. And it should have all that same information right in the email, I think. So I
Okay.
thought it was effective, but Nicole, what did you think? You were on the front lines of
Yeah,
getting
no,
people
it
to use
was
that.
super easy, and I was getting the updates. So a lot of people would email me, which you don't need them to do, but they would email me just to kind of follow up to make sure that it went through. And I think the QR code is key, because if you can include it on that flyer that goes home,
Right.
it's right there. Everything's just simple. They do it. And I would suggest to maybe make some sort of instructions where in the notes section
Right.
that they're specifying whatever it is that they need to specify, because that'll just make it a little bit easier. And Robert can print a report, which ends up looking like a spreadsheet. So it was really easy to reconcile, because we did it
Okay.
with the photo fundraiser, I believe. That was the first way we did it. Because again, people don't have checks, like you said, and it's trying to figure out cash gets tricky as well. So the QR code is super easy, and it worked really well.
And we could do that. I'll put that on the order form. We can almost encourage it to, like, payment options, PayPal preferred, and here's how to do it. And then, or send a check in with this order form. And
Yep,
maybe
perfect.
Yeah, so we
people
sent
need-
out the QR code, and there's also a link that they can do if the QR code isn't working for them.
Okay.
It's like PayPal me and then / I think it's Exeter Elementary PTO or something like that.
Okay. And the only options, and maybe I can get some feedback on it. In past year, we did like a less expensive, more of a heavy cotton tee for students that needed an affordable option. And that's what the PTO, we also sponsored it if there were students who asked for, financial assistance. They used to be like $4 or something for the heavy cotton tees. Now they're like $6.70. The nicer, like, soft cotton blend tees are $8. So I don't know whether we don't need both of those options. So I don't know whether we want to just go with a little bit nicer one that more students will probably buy, and still it would be like $10 instead of $8. We could just make that we don't make a lot of profit on it, to kind of keep that price low. And then the other option we wanted to add this year is the more of a sport tech t-shirt. So the athletic style versus the cotton. And those will be the little bit more expensive. So I think we said like they're like $8.50. So we could sell them for like $15 and make more of a profit on those for the kids who wanted the more athletic style. But we don't need the 2 cotton. So I didn't know whether we wanted to stick with the real cheap one. In
Can
case
I
you
ask
had
a
to-
question?
Yeah.
What's our guess on how many kids will buy a t-shirt?
I had last year's numbers up
from
and
last time.
I can't remember. I had them up. I could tell you, we sold a lot.
But it's not like it's half the school. It's
Yeah.
10% of the school or some
Right.
amount.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to put my treasurer hat on for a minute and say we don't need the money that badly this year. But maybe this is one of those items where, we're thinking of it as a fundraiser. We could also think of it as a way for us to give back a little to the school, to have more awesome shirts, in the school for kids who want to show their junior hawk pride or little hawk pride or whatever it is. We may, I'm not saying we should cut the price or give the t-shirts away for free, but I wouldn't have this be a year where we either raise prices or reduce quality, because we don't really need the sponsorship money this year quite so much.
So you think if we did like the cotton blend one that most of the kids ordered last year, they're like $8 and just sell them for 10 to make that be the like affordable option for families. And if we need to sponsor some, we can. I think we only sponsored like 2 or 3 last year.
I think we
Most
should
people
sponsor, we should probably give one away for everyone we sell. Like if there's kids who want to wear a shirt and they don't have
Yeah.
$10, let's get, we could give a kid a shirt. That's my view.
Can we
from
also
the-
put a line on the order form that says if you want to submit extra money for sponsorship for those students, then you
Mhm.
can do so?
Yeah, that's what we did last year as well.
Yep.
We got
Or-
some
yeah.
people donated some extra money to cover the cost of other shirts. And we didn't have many people request the financial assistance, but we did have a lot of people buy those like, you know, the $8, $10 shirts. You know, probably half of them were those and half of them were the nicer like $15 t-shirts that, you know, everyone wanted. And then we're still looking at doing the sweat, you know, having that sweatshirt option, and then the adult t-shirt. The adult sweatshirt prices are up a lot. So unless there's a big need with teachers for adult sweatshirts, we can certainly get them, but we'd need to sell them for like $40. Whereas last year it was like $30. So I think you know, between the emails with a few of us had said, maybe don't worry about the adult sweatshirts, but you know, you teachers might have more feedback if that's something that you guys prefer over the t-shirt. It's no more of a cost to get them. It's just a matter of, you know, not having a million options, but happy to add them on there if we think people order them.
Teachers, any comments?
Either way. All right. Well, we'll figure
So
it
we'll go
out.
with no sweatshirts?
And I'll see if it's, you know, if it's not a lot to add them in. Because it's the same, the logo is the same as the kid sweatshirt. And we already paid for the logo design last year. So there's not any charge to do the small logo and the big logo. We have one of each.
So Susie said sell them because there's a lot of new teachers this year.
Okay.
Suggestion, anyway.
Sounds good. And we can also just do a like, I know the women's last year were cut really tight.
Yes, very.
So we can always just do, you know, sell it as like a unisex sweatshirt. That's men's and women's. Yeah. All right. And then we're trying to get socks, and she's still looking into that for me. So I know we had discussed doing like the sport higher athletic socks that every kid wears. So she's trying to find the right pricing combination. If you order, there's usually a minimum order on those that's a lot higher than, you know, 20 on the shirts. So she found some that's a 100 minimum, but then they cost more. 200 minimum, you can get them for like $5 or $6 a pair. So she's still working on those. And we thought those might be a good option, that if we have extra, we can sell them at the Get Fit in May. We can, you know, kids will buy them there at a table and things. So if we have to order extra of those to make up the difference, I'm sure we would sell them anyway. So I'll email out to the few of you and when she finalizes that. But the other thing I just need to know for that is timing, when we think we want to do that. Because I know we have the teacher fundraiser. Is that okay if those overlap? I mean, do we want to it'd be ideal to get these out, get the order forms out as soon as we can, in my mind.
Well, how fast can we get them out?
As soon as they make them.
Like, is next week too soon? You know what I mean? Like,
No, I think, I mean, as long as I just need to, who should I email the forms to get copied?
Well, send it to me and I'll get it to the principals.
Okay.
Or send it to me and Nicole and Laura to look at, and then we'll have them send them to the principals, and they'll get that out.
Okay. And I do have some like mock-ups of the shirts. So if we want to be able to put out like some of the pictures, you know, we can put it on Facebook or put that in an email update with a couple of the attachments or something. So if people want to see what it looks like, yeah, if they haven't seen them around, they can look at those as well. But that's
we should put pictures on the order form.
Yeah, we can put a couple on there, but we're not, I mean, they won't be color because we don't
fine.
We don't want to color copy everything. Would imagine, but we can just put, you know, a couple samples of what they look like. All right. That's it. So it's coming slowly.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'll just need some volunteers when it's time to pick them up and hand them out.
You know, I'll help. Nicole, just one quick thing. You mentioned the photo fundraiser. We said we were going to do that in the spring. Are we still going to do that, or?
I mean, I feel like we're between Spirit Wear, teacher staff raffle, Get Fit in May. We're like, I think Laura and I had met, and I think that was something that we were thinking about for the fall, right, Laura?
Yeah, we were thinking to kind of align it right before a holiday picks and like things go out, because I think that really made people, I know myself, I was like, perfect, that's my holiday card, let's sign up. And we did it. So we were thinking maybe like fall time, maybe a long weekend, or Nicole had mentioned that there was such a great response 2 weekends in a row. We could kind of touch base with the photographer and go from there if everyone's aligned with the fall time versus spring.
That's fine. Robert, did we have that in our budget for this year or no?
Let me take a look.
You know what? It doesn't. It looks like we had $1,500 for a line item for that.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yes, that's $1,500 for the mini photo sessions for this year.
Okay. I guess my only concern is that, you know, it's, well, I guess with all these extra fundraisers, maybe we can
Right,
kind
like
of
I
cover
think
that.
between karate and Breathe New Hampshire. And then Robert, I don't know if you're still looking. Did we budget in what we were going to do for staff raffle? What did we put for that, or calendar raffle? I don't remember if we had included that. And you're muted again.
Are my lips moving? No, we don't have it as raffle. Did we change the description here? I can't remember.
It says teacher raffle, budget 2,500.
Oh, there it is. Yep, it's alphabetical. Teacher raffle 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah, again, with the programs, I mean, this is, if there's a year where we need to pace ourselves, or focus on transitioning or getting the timing right of when and how we execute on fundraisers. This is the year where we have the flexibility to do that. We have brought in more money than we've spent, and we started off with more than we needed. So I wouldn't say don't do fundraisers, because having it every year keeps it going. And we want next year to be normal and have a lot of money coming in and money going out, but we still have cushion this year. So if it, I don't want to cram too much into one calendar period, especially if we're transitioning. So I think you should make your decisions about when is it the right time to do it, not whether we budgeted it or not.
Okay, that was going to be my question after. That was my next question. So thank you for that. Okay, so that sounds good. So then we'll wait till the fall for that. I kind of felt like we were stacked as well. So that's good. Okay.
Rachel does have an update about box tops.
Okay. Oh, Rachel, you're up.
Yep. Hi. So box tops, I think we've only earned about $150 this year. I think there's one parent in the 4th grade that's been pushing the box tops. Every other grade is just a couple dollars. So we were thinking about doing a battle of the grades, trying to promote everybody to submit the box tops. And we're thinking about, if the school is, the principals and the teachers are up for it, doing a whichever grade submits the most box tops for an entire month, that whole grade would get a popsicle party in the classroom, hoping that the kids will motivate their parents to submit box tops. So the only thing with timing on that, it's just going back onto the conversation we just had, is if April is too busy with vacation and other fundraisers and other things going on, what month we should do it, and if we should do it for May or not.
I think we should do it from now until, like, the end of May. That would give us
Okay.
like that first week of June to calculate and figure out, make sure we know who the winner is. And then probably even either the first week or the last week or the second week of June, because that's the last week of school, right? Because the last day is the 14th, right? Whatever it is, however we fall, that we could, whenever the last week of school is, that the grade could win it then. So I think we could, it will
Okay.
just give us a little more time. And I mean, I think that the teachers can, if the admin will remind the teachers to talk to their students about it. And then I don't know if like during announcements, if it can get made, like, you know, maybe each week we can make an announcement at each school, like, oh, first grade's in the lead or whatever it might be, to kind of like pump up the other grades and give ourselves the full like 2 months. I don't think that hurts.
Okay.
Teachers,
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
it instantly tells you who's in the lead. You know, it updates on a regular basis. So it's not manual anymore for tallying to know what's going on.
Yeah, so I say let's give it as much time as we can. And I mean, if we even started it next week, it's really just announcements. It's nothing. I mean, we can post it on Minga as well, but we certainly don't need anything, you know, hard copy for that. It's really just drilling it into the kids so they'll go home and annoy their parents.
Right. Okay.
As long as everybody else thinks that's a good idea, I think that's probably give ourselves as much time as possible.
Anybody
Okay,
against it?
cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that's what we're gonna do.
Cool.
And then our usual reminder that the textile bins are still there. Any textiles, clothes, sheets, curtains, shoes, backpacks that are no longer of use. Where you don't need any more, just feel free to put them in the bins. And then we also have our direct donation where you can go online and just directly donate right to the PTO if you don't want to participate in the fundraisers.
So Rachel, I don't know, you obviously have your timeline and I did have to miss that meeting, but I would think if there is time, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If there isn't, but if we do have time social media wise to make a post about like spring cleaning and reminding that those bins are there, because it's the time of year where people are going to clean, then maybe we can, you know, get a little push there. So I think the people did a lot of cleaning during the pandemic. So we got a huge check during that time, which we had never gotten before. So I doubt we're always going to get that, but just a reminder that it's, you know, as you're spring cleaning that you can bring your things there.
Right. Yeah. I did a post right before winter break.
Okay.
So I don't know if there was if you saw anything, if they checked the boxes yet from that. But I'll do another one in like a week or so.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, like I said, whenever, you know what your timeline looks like. So
Yeah.
whatever works.
And then can we accept direct donations through the PayPal account if we did like the QR code on the Facebook page?
Yes, and we would just want them to, you know, make a note that that's what it is, especially where Lori's going to be using it for spirit wear. We just, you know, they can just write direct donation just so that we don't. It makes it easier to reconcile for Robert and Lori.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because we're also going to be using the PayPal for the family sponsorships for Get Fit in May as well. So, yeah, if we just make sure that it's explicit when people are giving us money for PayPal, what it's for, and PayPal what it's for.
Okay. Cool.
Get Fit in May. I don't feel like there's a lot of updates for that, and I know Kim's not here. Is Rachel still here? Do you want to give your social media update? Because I know you're in a class.
Yeah. No. I just got from Get Fit in May. What's the platinum sponsor? She just gave me all of their postings that they would like. I'm still waiting for the actual other sponsors so I can schedule when those posts will go out.
I kind of know who they are. Do you and I want to get together and just go over it?
Yeah, that's fine. Cause I was just waiting so I know, cause we're getting tight to get everything in. So
yes,
we need to get it done quickly. So
okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So you just let me know when you have time and we'll get together and maybe we'll just do a Zoom and and just create the calendar and send it out, and everybody can let us know whether or not they approve or not.
Okay, cool.
Any other social media updates?
I think that's it.
I don't know if you saw about the Hannaford Helps flyers went out.
Yep.
So we probably want to promote that a little bit if we could get a social media post about that. Just reminding people.
Okay. Is that posted anywhere is that on Minga or anything? Because I
So
think I threw out the top of my thing.
I just created a web page for it. I don't
Okay.
think it's on Minga yet, but we can put it there.
Yeah, I'll put it on there. So it's on the PTO website.
Yes. I
Okay.
didn't get the flyer up there yet, but I definitely have a web page that you can link to for it.
Okay.
So Get Fit in May. Kim isn't here. Just reminder, we have an in-person and virtual events this year. The in-person event is May 21st. And then the virtual event is the following week after the in-person event. We do have the fun runs, both the half mile and the mile running again for the kids. If you sign up for the virtual 5K, the kids automatically have an entrance into do the half mile and the 1 mile fun runs on site. Does anybody have any questions about Get Fit in May? Okay. Moving right along to hospitality. I'm sorry, I know we're running a little late. We just had a lot of business this week. Courtney.
Hi.
Hi.
So not a ton to go over, but we did land on some dates for the teacher appreciation luncheon. So for Main Street School, we're going to have it on Thursday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And we will have at Lincoln Street School Friday, May 6th. And more to come.
Wait, so I'm sorry, which Thursday is which school?
Main Street School will be
Main
Thursday.
Street. And Friday is Lincoln Street.
Yep.
And then we usually do what, the preschool the same day as
Lincoln Street, I believe.
Lincoln Street, right?
Yep.
Does that work for you, Tanya?
Yeah, that should be fine. Thank
Okay.
you guys. We're excited.
I want to miss the preschool.
Yes, appreciate it.
Oh, is that it, Courtney?
That is it.
Do we have a theme yet at all?
We do not yet. No.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. And Megan, enrichment. She was here. Maybe she had to drop off.
I can tell you. I don't know if Beth wants to tell you, but
Yeah, that'd be great.
everything's been scheduled and all the programs are starting to come in this week. I think tomorrow we have a slow magnet race that's brought by the Sea Science Center from Manchester. They're coming into Lincoln Street for our grade 3 students. And then we have Tiger the program coming and Theater Espresso is coming. So we sort of pushed all of our enrichment to the spring because we didn't know if we'd have to do it outside. It turns out we're going to be able to bring them in, so that's great, but we have a lot going on in the springtime. That's our enrichment.
Thank you.
I'll jump in. So yes, we have a lot in the spring as well. We just had, last week, we had Marianne Coca-Leffler zooming in virtually for kindergarten. She's an author, a local author, and she did The Power of Yet for our kindergarten students. Grade 1 has Texploration coming up Monday, May 9th. We have grade 2 with Ellen Gethel, which right now are scheduled for virtually. But it might change. We have her scheduled for May 19th and May 20th. We have Tiger scheduled for in-person Friday, May 13th. And then we have Johnny the K for whole school. Both Tiger and Johnny the K are whole school presentations. They will both be in person, and Johnny the K is Friday, May 27th. And that's it.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Sounds like a lot of fun in the spring. All right, so we're up to our school updates. Oh, but before I do that, I haven't forgotten about flexible seating for Main Street School. I'm trying to figure out what teachers I should be talking to. Is Susie, is it you? And I know with the other grades, they bounce around different teachers. So I'm trying to figure out what 3 teachers I need to get on the phone to talk about flexible seating.
You can talk to me from first grade, Emily York. Yep.
Susie.
And
then it's
Kristen Kelly from second grade, I think, is managing that.
well, is it the Kristen Kelly or is it
Or Nikki Bell?
Nikki Bell. They bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm filling in today, so now you've got a third wheel here, but
okay.
between the two of them, yeah.
Okay, great. And I'll make sure that I set up a meeting that either we can Zoom or we can meet in person. It'll be up to you, and we'll talk about that more. Okay. All right, Tanya, would you like to go first, or Drew, would you like to go first?
I'll go. All right, so I just was writing down a couple things, looking at the calendar of some things coming up. We did have Eileen Flockart and a friend. They work for the Exeter I don't remember what the official name is, but they came and they have an event going on where it's kind of a scavenger hunt through the town of Exeter looking for champion trees. And so poor Eileen, she's got a broken foot. So she made it to about 2/3 of our classes, but she wasn't able to make it to all of them. And then it started running into lunches and everything. But she came in and they sold it to the kids and they're really excited. So flyers just went home today. And so it's something that people can do or kids can do with their families. And there's 2 in Swayze Park, and then there's some at the cemetery, but they're also asking kids to go out and measure the trees and maybe find another champion tree. And so that was kind of cool for them to be able to come, and kids seem genuinely excited about it. So that was neat. If you see those flyers, that's what that is for. Right now we also have gymnastics set up in the gym, which is there's real official gymnastics equipment. It's an exciting time, and it's cool for kids to go in and see all that gear in there. So I'll try to take some pictures or videos to send home to families so they can see the kids in PE. We have Kinder Info Night coming April 6th from 6 to 7. It's going to be in our gym. So we have a little presentation, and then families can go and tour 4 of our kindergarten classrooms just to kind of get a feel. But we want to start pushing that out, that it's time to register for kindergarten next year already. We are going to be sharing soon. We're making plans right now for our open house, and we have field days coming up. So those are 2 big things on the horizon that will take a lot of planning, but kids are excited about it. It'll be nice to see families at school. A little bit of sad news actually is that Lauren Kyle is moving on. She took another position, and this is her last week. So we've been interviewing some really good candidates actually to fill her position, but I know that some people on here have worked very closely with her. So if you want to reach out to her before she leaves, Friday is her last day, and our staff is getting together tomorrow evening for a going away celebration of her. But we're excited. She's looking forward to a new challenge, and I think not working so early in the morning. So good for her. But reach out to her if you choose to. And then just a couple things that we're working on with professional development. We have some math training today. We also have been doing some stuff for the science of reading, and we plan to put some things together, towards the end of the year over summer to share with families what the plan is next year, working on some curriculum changes, but they're exciting and teachers are excited about it, and we're making good progress. So those are just a few things happening with us. Oh, end of quarter is April 1st. So that's just around the corner as well. But that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
My turn.
Your turn.
All right. Couple just this is like go time. You turn the corner and from after February vacation, and it's just shoot right out the gate. So big news on the Lincoln Street School campus is maple syrup production. It's begun, and unfortunately, depending on your perspective, it's almost over. This warm weather is really puts a damper on the sap running, but for those who love the warmer weather, it's certainly looking in the right direction. 4th grade tomorrow night has a celebration of learning festivities. I guess at Lincoln Street School, kids are going to be talking through their project that they've done, and not just focusing on the task and the writing that they produced, but the learning process and how they got there. So we're excited to have that happen. I looking around, I know I'll see a couple of you. Emily, you'll be there in twofold, I have to imagine. Let's see, the drama club is deep into its production of Aladdin Jr. Let's see, we've got the school store back up and running. It's always a hot spot. You know, you hear kids walking in with change jingling in their pockets, all excited to go buy their favorite eraser. Just publicly, I wanted to thank you, Jennifer, and the Exeter Rec for helping to clean out a storage closet across from our gym that we're converting into some space for our occupational therapists to work in. So we're looking to use every little nook and cranny. We've got some new closets that are being put together today that we can hopefully fit all the stuff that wasn't able to be cleaned out in. So it'll look prim and proper for anyone that's using that room. Let's see, we talked about after school enrichment. We're starting our transition planning for next year, if you can believe it, including the schedule, coordinating with Main Street School and Tanya's staff, looking at seeing what we can do to ensure that that 2nd to 3rd grade transition goes as smoothly as possible and eliminates any of the stress or anxiety that families or kids might feel. So we're working hard to add some extra steps in that transition to make sure everyone's comfortable coming up. And DARE has begun in 5th grade. So that's always a fun time, makes the kids feel pretty grown up and, you know, one step moving on to middle school. So those are the big things at Lincoln Street School right now.
Thank you. Beth, Deanna, do you have anything to add? Okay. Moving on. So I'm switching it up. We'll start with 4th grade today. Hi. It looks like we have Jen on the phone for that.
Hi, everybody. I have to apologize for my computer because I have a new MacBook from school, which I'm very excited about, but I haven't figured out how to use the Zoom yet. So I'm on my husband's computer. You've seen his picture. So anyways, I apologize about the filter. So generator, 4th grade, a lot going on. I'm going to echo some of the things that Drew said. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as Drew was saying, it's been a big month for maple syrup making. I want to give a big shout out to Hallie Estel and Keith Schmidt, who are largely behind spending hours and hours boiling away the sap and helping their classes run station to teach the rest of our school how maple syrup works and how it's made. And we got to sample it. So that was all wonderful this year. We are all ready for the student exhibition tomorrow night. The kids are going to be presenting, as Drew said, on the process of writing an opinion. So some of the kids, in addition to documenting their process and reflecting on opinion piece, that a lot of them have artifacts to present, like whatever their stance is or taking opinion on. They have like a poster or a Google slideshow or some type of artifact that they're going to share along with their opinion piece. So that's tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it. We have a Concord State House field trip coming up next week. The kids are very excited. We haven't had a field trip in a couple of years. So this is an opportunity for the kids to go up to Concord and learn about how government works at the state level, how laws are made. I would say about half the time we get to see the governor. So we're kind of like, you know, we're hoping that the kids can meet Chris Sununu, see how that works. And so we're excited about that. And today we had Alice training for the teachers, an eye-opening experience. We have on Friday, we're going to be helping the kids have their first Alice training in the classroom. So it was nice to have today to be reminded of how we can help keep the kids safe in an event, if it were to ever happen, hopefully not, obviously. But it just felt good to be able to have that review, and Richard Kane did a great job helping us like help prepare the kids if something were to happen. So that's what's going on in 4th grade.
Thank you. Stephanie, 5th grade.
Okay, fast run. Maple syrup demos were great. There's going to be skateboarding and PE. People had to sign a waiver for the child to participate, but it should be a lot of fun. Gaga Ball Pit is going phenomenally well. The kids love it. There is going to be a DARE end of the year picnic at the rec department, so that's awesome. Compost has started by the green team. And we've been working on student-led conferences for April, and a few classrooms have been going over to Main Street. Emily York's class is one of them, and co-working with children of how you do a student-led conference. So that's exciting. And our celebration of learning is going to be May 26th, 6:30 to 7:30. More coming out about that, but it'll be a Revolutionary War timeline. So it should be fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. 3rd grade, Dawn.
Hey, everyone. A lot of things I was going to mention have already been mentioned, but the children had a wonderful experience watching the description of the sap turning into syrup. Thank you to Mr. Schmidt and Ms. Estel, especially the taste test at the end was a big hit. We are looking forward to our slow magnet roll presentation, which is classes are going 2 at a time in the CAF, where it's pretty much a hands-on STEM activity, which is great. In math, we're exploring how to find the area of rectangles. And just like Stephanie just said, the Gaga Pit is a big hit and more kids are able to get in part of the action versus watching. So it's just a wonderful addition to our playground. We're hoping to get another one too. So our celebration, I believe, is in June, beginning of June, and more will be coming out of that. Thanks.
Thanks, Dawn. Who do I have next? 1st grade, Main Street School, Emily.
Hey, everybody. So this is looking back a few weeks, but I haven't seen you. So I just wanted to say thank you again for all your support for the remote learning day. We had a great turnout. I just haven't seen you. I know hopefully we won't have any more of those this year, but it was just a great day. So thank you for all of your support. 1st grade, we just are wrapping up or have finished our light and sound unit in science. So that's been exciting. We, like Tanya said, have been doing the math trainings. I went to one today. It's just always great to get new ideas. And something that if you have older children, you might remember the cruising the continents that 1st grade used to do. We're scaling it way down, but we are hoping to have classrooms visit other classes and talk about different countries and learn some different things. So, so we're excited about that in April. And yes, my class is going up to Lincoln Street tomorrow to see the 5th grade. So we're super excited to go to the big school and talk about student-led conferences up there. Thank you.
Thank you. 2nd grade. Oh, Kim, please.
Okay. So we are, most of the classes are still continuing with the country studies. We used to do it really in December as one kind of a chunk of a unit. And what we've been doing is kind of staggering it and going to different countries. And I think it's going pretty well that way, kind of spreading it out. So, and the kids are really enjoying that. We are also going up to Lincoln Street to visit with Mr. Schmidt and Ms. Estel's class to learn how maple syrup is made. And some of the classes went today and they were out of their minds excited and loved it, learned so much. So I can't wait. My class is going tomorrow. So that's so nice that we have the opportunity to do that. So looking forward to that. And that kind of segues nice into our science units that we're going to be doing states of matter. And it also ties in with economics because I understand that they are selling the syrup. Or it's at least a good conversation to have. So it's kind of all, fitting together. This is a fun time of year. There's, we really get into a lot of the fun activities and there's a lot of food involved, which let me tell you, the 2nd graders I've never seen people eat so much. So the maple syrup, the states of matter, we make ice cream, all that kind of stuff. So they love it. And then we'll go into landforms from there. And that's, then we get into the end of the year, which we'll talk about, I think at the next meeting, some of the things that we do. And that is it. And thank you. Also, I'll just echo Emily's comments about the remote day. Everyone did a great job. So thanks for all the support.
Thank you, Kim. Hi, Susie.
Hi. Finally, plugged here. So I have to echo what Emily said about remote learning. I forgot that the kindergartners had never done this before and what a novelty this was. And there wasn't a lot of productivity that day. It was a lot of looking at the inside of their mouth and they're checking out their teeth. So it was fun to do it for a day, but let's hope that was it for the year. I actually took down all the snowflakes in my classroom. I took down my snow scene out in the bulletin board because we're on to spring. We really enjoyed the author visit with Marianne Coca Leffler. She's one of my favorites. She had initially written a book called Janine based on her daughter when she was growing up and how Janine was a little different and Janine didn't care. But then Marianne came out with her new book, which I was waiting for someone to call, do this book, The Power of Yet. I can't tie my shoes yet. I can't ride my bicycle without training wheels yet. So that was a great book to be, at the beginning of the year that we had read. So the kids were super excited to see how she came up with the idea, how she actually did the illustrations and the whole process that was involved. We're looking forward to having parent conferences either in person or via Zoom. And a couple of our kindergarten teachers are actually doing piloting student-led conferences. So hopefully we can have a couple in training. So by the time they get to first grade, they'll know what they're doing. A number of us are doing either starting or in the middle or finishing up our weather unit. I know I'm in the process of putting together the weather books. And we are all starting our community unit. I know I told my kindergartners that we would kind of walk around town and they think that's going to happen like tomorrow. They don't understand that we need to wait for nicer weather because they think anything above 50 degrees is nicer weather now. And we're now looking forward to having an open house. We got the news today that we're going to have the open house in beginning of May. So that's exciting. We're really kind of getting back to normal and it's nice to see kindergartners with their missing teeth now. So it's super, but that's, we're having fun in kindergarten as usual. So.
Thank you. Is there any other business we need to discuss? Nope. Okay. So I'm going to motion to close the meeting. Anybody second it?
I'll second it.
Thanks. Susie seconds. All in favor? Aye. Tanya and Beth, can